And good evening, everyone. And thank you for joining in with us for our episode 2 of The Encouraging Woman. I am here, Ashley D, joined by my co host, Dr. Storm.
Doctor.
Thank you so much for taking the time out to join in with us this evening. We are super excited. Let me tell you guys, today was another day.
Yes.
The Monday was Monday. And when I say I was so excited, though, just to wake up and know that we have our podcast today and getting time to have some girl chatter, some time to talk and just talk about it.
Yes.
The key thing with us is, of course, I feel that we always have to make sure things that we're dealing with on a daily basis, we want to always pour into each other, as myself and Dr. Storm has always done throughout our days.
Daily.
Tell me about your day, Dr. Storm, real quick. Give them a rundown.
All over the place. I played 2 hats today. I was the principal and I was also the realtor today and just had to get some stuff done. But God.
But God.
But God.
But God. I promise you. Same thing for me today. I think for me, it started off with just the regular day in school.
Yeah.
And then when you leave there, then you have a meeting and you're trying to balance the gym because we are taking control of our health this year.
Thank you.
We're taking control.
The gym.
So I had to push myself because this weekend I was really enjoying myself, spending time with family, celebrate my baby's godmom's birthday.
Yes.
And that was like, I needed this. Like I had to get on that treadmill and happen.
Yes. Listen, I didn't make the gym today, but I'm gonna make up for it tomorrow. So yes, Marcus, I will be there.
That's our trainer, y'all. So, just coming here, I want you guys to understand when we're doing these podcasts, understand the journey to get to the studio is a lot. And a lot of times the enemy comes and he's really trying his best to throw us off our A game.
Yes.
So what he doesn't understand, we are strong women.
Thank you.
And some encouraging women that are going to pour into each other.
Talk to me.
Because I'm calling Dr. Storm like, Storm, you okay?
Take a deep breath.
Take a deep breath.
Okay. We got this. I'm like, okay.
So we try our best to keep each other calm. So I think it's like so important to have that accountability partner like we always talk about. We talked about that a little bit last podcast session. Just making sure that we're spending time, we're talking to each other, we're holding each other accountable, rather if it's church. And think about it. Remember on Sunday, I say, Storm, did you tune in, Dr. Darius?
Yes. She said, tune in. I was like, right on time.
So I kid you not, like I think it's one of those things that's so important to have a healthy friendship relationship with your friends, tapping in with each other just a little bit, just in the beginning of our day. But as far as our session tonight, our podcast tonight, y'all, we got a special guest. And she actually just so happened to be our Sora. I don't know what that's about, y'all.
I almost threw it the pit, my bad. I almost threw it the pyramid. You know. Listen, January, we celebrating all month.
We celebrating all year, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
So I just want you guys to understand when it comes to our guests, we always want to make sure there is someone that's going to come and pour into our audience, as well as pouring into us as women in Christ. But this special guest that we have is none other than Torri Telfair. She actually has a movement of empowering women that I think it's one of those things. The moment I told her about my project that I was working on, she was like, Ashley, I got something going on too. I said, Sora, you got to come on this podcast. I was like, you got to come on this podcast and tell us all about it. I'm so thankful that there are women who see what we're doing and they're willing to share knowledge and gaining more intel for other women.
Yes, that's what's important.
To pretty much pour into others is such a blessing, I will say.
The transparency
is one thing that I want to just always be. We want to always be transparent on this show. She's a mentor. She's a mommy. She's an educator. She's a business owner.
Thank you.
Hold up, wait. But she's a moderator as well with Monopoly.
Say that last one again.
Monopoly.
They y'all excited. We talk about
Monopoly. And we're going to have the actual Monopoly one day on this show for you guys. That's going to be coming up very soon. But with no further ado, I want to introduce you all to Torri Telfair of Naked and Not Ashamed.
Hey, Sora, good evening. Well, good night.
Yes, I love that green on you.
It looks good.
Yes,
Thank
it does.
you. Yes,
We are
thank you
so
so much.
excited to have
You
you
too.
on. I mean,
Look
thank you
nice.
first and foremost for joining in with us tonight. We just wanted to kind of talk. We like to have that girl talk time. Like even when I'm in the hallway and I see you, it's going, "Hey, Sorrel, tell me what's going on. What we gonna talk about?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So tell
That's
us. I want you to kind of tell us. First of all, introduce yourself. I mean, we kind of touched on it, but I want you to tell us a little bit about yourself. And what brought you into the Naked and Not Ashamed movement that you're doing with the empowerment culture?
Yes, come on, celebrity.
well, again, hello to you too. Hello to everyone. And thank you so much for the invitation. And the title alone is powerful, encouraging woman. And so that is what I want to do, encourage it. So empowerment is encouragement, right?
Yes,
But
right.
I am a mother, like you said in the introduction. I am a soror, an educator. I am the only child, and I am parentless. So that means no mother, no father, no siblings. So it's just me taking care of my one adult, but she's still my baby, and
Right.
my two. And I have a special needs son, which is 17, who's autistic, and he's Toric. His name is Toric. So I have Asia and Toric. So that's my little family, but it's a huge family at heart, right?
That's right.
Yes.
Naked and Not Ashamed didn't come by accident. Naked and Not Ashamed was birthed years ago, because that's what I was. I was living my truth, but I was ashamed. So the nakedness really started at a young age, really, because I didn't know that what I was doing to my hair or to my scalp with the burning perms, with the tight braids, and you wouldn't tell anybody that was in pain. You know how we did. We just went through it for the beauty, right? For the beauty.
Yes.
So then but your hair still was full. My hair still was, growing and long and all of that. But it wasn't until I was pregnant with my son. So it was a high risk pregnancy, and I had to take some medication. And I went through, it was a difficult pregnancy, but he came out healthy. Yet I didn't know that the medicine and the trauma of me birthing him would cause so much damage, right? So I started noticing my hair thinning more, shedding, thinning, shedding. So in order to hide that thinning, I did sew-ins. So sew-in was putting more pressure, more trauma, heaviness, because it was already thin. So you're putting weight on thin hair, so it's still pulling, but I become more naked. More, you saw, start seeing more scalp, right? More scalp, less hair. And then I had to continue to wear the wig to cover up, because we have an image, everybody knows that this is our beauty. Our crown is our as our
Talk about
beauty.
it.
So and I only way I could deal with it was to make sure that I had the best styles of weave. So I had the best, hair care person that would take care of the weave, make me look like, hey, I was okay. So like I said to you all when you were interviewing me, I appreciated the time frame that I had to go through this, because weaves were trendy. So I was hidden safe. And I say that
Wow,
was
powerful.
hidden
He
safe.
said,
Yes, I was hidden safe because everybody was wearing weave. And then lace front came out. So everybody was doing that. So I was protected very well and rocking it very well,
right, thank you.
But when you come home and you're taking it off, and for years I did that because I wanted I was divorced, so I didn't
Mhm.
have a significant other to really have to really deal with it in a relationship. It was
Right.
just me personally dealing with this self-image, looking at the mirror and really knowing that I was naked, but I was ashamed.
Right.
So I wasn't willing to bear the naked truth with no one. And then
Okay.
all of a sudden I got into a relationship, and it was like, what
Mhm.
do I do? What do I do with this? So I never would
Yep.
allow him to
How
see
do
me.
I communicate, right?
Yeah.
No, you weren't gonna see this scalp. You was not going to see it. So it's
No
like getting
cover.
out of shower, you got your
Yep.
bonnet on, or you got the red scarf on. But he would notice that I had a wig on. So
Right.
one day he was like, "What's going on?" And
Mm-hmm.
once I felt the love and felt the support, he
Mm-hmm.
saw it. And he just
Right.
every day, like every time, babe, just let your hair, let your scalp, even he would even massage it, and just
Oh.
love being in
Come
my
on, come
nakedness.
on, man. Come on,
And
husband.
Come on, take care of it right here. Come on
Come
now.
on, husband.
he did that. And my daughter as well, she was just like, "Mommy,
Yes.
it's okay." But I was like, I can't wear it with pieces of it long, this side thin. You got
Mhm.
nothing here,
Yes.
you got nothing over here. So it's like,
Mhm.
what do you do with that? So he was like, you need to just cut it all off. I was like, cut what off? I got some hair. I could I could brush it back or something and still put my wig on. But he was like,
I love hair. Come on now.
yeah, that's it. Let's cut it. So I embraced that. And
Yes.
That's good.
I started documenting my feelings. I started
Yes.
documenting like how I'm going through this, and
Mhm.
only supporting my daughter and my man. Like those are the only two. I wouldn't let anybody know that. And then I did tell my best friend, I was like, listen, I think that I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to just take the wigs,
Come
throw
on.
the wigs away, and I'm just going
Mhm.
to shave it off. And she said, hey, I'm going to do it with you. And that's when I was
Wow.
like, you're going to, she
Yeah.
was like, yeah, I'm thinking about doing it too. She was like, I'm tired of all of this. I'm going to do it too. So with that, I was like, well, maybe for my 51st birthday, I'm coming out and I'm going to do
Oh.
an empowerment for women. So
Mhm.
what I start doing is I start looking at those throughout that time frame. I kept looking at people. It was like, God, she's rocking that. Oh, she could do
Yes.
that. And it was so crazy that I was looking at it from a trauma
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
point of view, like, oh,
Right.
naked and ashamed from trauma. But I had somebody all along in my
Mhm.
life that used to rock this, and that was my cousin Leslie. Like she did it so many times, and
Yes.
I didn't even realize like you used to kill a hairstyle, but that was by choice, beauty. I was looking at it from trauma, medical, like
Right.
this is the shame part. This is nothing that, oh, I'm just this is something that my hair is low. I'm gonna color it this colored one week. I'm coloring that, I'm jazzy with it. No, I'm like, this is a shameful thing. Like I got
Wow.
alopecia spots. Do I cut
Right.
it all ball to the scalp, or do I cut it low and let you see these little circle spots in my hair? So it was the nakedness and the shameness of that.
Yes.
But when we did the empowerment, I invited women that I saw, and I invited women that did medical and by choice. So it was a combination group of
Right.
support.
Yes.
And when I sent out the invitation to them, I told them that I admired them from a distance, but they helped
Mhm.
me, come out. And would they participate in this birthday coming out empowerment, and let's do it for each other, and let's do it for other women. So that's how we got into that naked and not ashamed, the naked truth.
Yes.
Yes. So what I want to say is when you provided the video for us,
Mm.
Storm and I were like, this is some powerful movement that's happening that I believe it could bless so many women if we just learn how to embrace ourselves. I remember I was just discussing my story with you, and I was like, I thought about it. You were like, F, you always rocking your short style. And I was like, Well, honestly, like I did it for like, it was like a thought process of me learning how to love myself because I went through a 2-year breakup and I was just like, I got to figure out what makes me happy at this point.
Right.
Like I wanted to see my true natural being. And I wanted to really see, do I truly love myself, or is it just the wigs and the makeup that really make Ashley?
Right.
That's good,
Right?
Ashley. That's good.
Because we love to like look at ourselves in the mirror. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I love to jazz up and put my makeup on.
I love, you beat your face line.
Listen, y'all. But y'all know I wear a uniform all day, so I wanted to like, I like to change it up, you know, when I'm doing different things. But what I will say is, this was like my 4th time cutting my hair, right? And the first time I remember sharing this story with you, it was during a time frame when I was at a really low time. And it's like your body can tell you when you're stressed.
Yeah.
And when I say all of my hair fell out, like, y'all remember Fire Marshal Bill? Like, that was how I truly looked. And I was dating a guy back then, and he would be like, you put that bun in. So when you're saying the story, if you put on the bun and you're trying to hide how you truly look, that was me. And he was like, why are you hiding it? Like, why are we so ashamed? And I once he said it, it was like, okay, I am that dope. Like I do.
Actually, be like, well, you know, since I cut my hair off, I don't know if I want to share this part. But all the men be like, hey,
listen, I'm telling y'all, when I be at work, guys look at me, and not, you know, when I'm at work, I'm natural. Like, I makeup, no makeup, like just my hair and gelled up, sponged up like kids. But that is when I get the most attention. They always say, you know, the shortcut is just something about it. And even for Dr. Storm, she put me onto the wig game, like, for real. Because I was just like, I don't want to grow my hair back. But it's amazing how the hair makes us feel a certain way. And even if you are with a low cut, you still are beautiful no matter what. That's right. And I believe that's where you come into the naked and not ashamed portion of it.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. I
just believe it's just one of those things where, you know, society has put so much on just beauty in all. And
everything.
Our flaws and what we may think is a flaw. Because if we cut our hair, to me, it shows strength of power.
Yes.
And I remember growing up, my mom has a shortcut, and trust me, she rocks. And every time I hear her compliments, it is, oh my God, you're rocking that shortcut.
She does, y'all.
Yeah. So thank you for actually just sharing your story, because that's a bold move, because everybody's not tangible or honest to say, guess what? This is my naked truth. This is who I am. And baby, I love who I am. And we always hide behind makeup.
But it was a journey.
We do.
And
it was a journey.
It takes time to accept it. And seeing like, okay,
it's a process.
Like, my hair is the same. Right. You got the same length of hair as your dude. You know, back in the day when we were growing up, it was all about the length. Now, I've had very, very long hair where I would go to Dominican to get my hair blown out. And, you know, now we're at the point of doing what's called the blowouts, which I do miss and I love so much. But at the end of the day, every single woman I run into that has a short style, it's a different type of style.
Yes.
It's a different type of confidence.
Yes.
And a different type of crown that she's rocking.
Oh, I like that word, crown. I love it.
And that sort of, Miss Telfair, I'm telling you. I'm telling you, you rock yours and you do it with style and grace.
Sorry, let me ask you, what actually, because I know that when you were sharing your story, you said that, you know, you had some women to actually come on board with you. You had some women shy away from it because they tell maybe whatever the problem, what hey world, this is me. It gave you the extra push to say, you know what, this is who I am. I'm cutting it off. I got to deal with my hair falling out, and I have to deal with just different levels, because every time that I say, you know, I'm getting a little bit more wiser. I ain't getting older, I'm getting wiser. But when my knee started hurting, I be like, oh my God. I started to panic. So how is that process for you to even get to this point where you are now? Talk about the journey.
Talk about it.
Yeah. Okay. The journey was a difficult journey, even when I cut it. Because when I cut it, I still had to be about 2 months after that. Just cut. It was just a cut, but I still had my wig.
Right.
So a lot of people still didn't know it. So I understand when the women who said, okay, I'm gonna go through and then backed out. Because trust me, I did it when I cut it. Right. I was like, okay,
you still had your back up.
Yes, I went and got whole cut, tape up, everything. And I was like, my head too long. Nope. Nope, I'm not doing it. Not this long head. Nope. And then I was like, see, it's too thin. This is me talking to him. It's too thin, babe. No, I'm not ready. So boom, we went right back on. And I didn't know. So I come home, I get it and I brush it. I look at it on the side in the mirror, and I was just like, I don't like it. I do not like it. And then, the tears will come, and I was like, I thought it was going to be okay. Then I was like, okay, so now I'm thin, naturally thin anyway. So I'm like, it's not thick. Like, you see, when you see Ashley's, hers is thick. Mine is not thick. So now I'm double mad. Okay, I'm double mad. So I'm like, no. So every time he wants to rub it and encourage me, I'm not feeling that. No, I don't like it. And I'm just being transparent. I don't like it.
No,
and I was not sure. I wasn't there yet. So it was crying. It was me praying. It was me saying, man, I don't like it. And he took me to Lester's at Neighborhood Barber. And Lester was like, we're gonna put some dye and put a little line in it, cut it up, jazzy it up. It's not jazzy. Right. So it's kind of like levels to it, and you gotta train that head and get that together. And like I was telling you, Dr. Storm, it's some days I don't feel like being super fly and cute, but with this you can't downplay this bald head.
I'm ready to take my wig off now.
Listen, I promise y'all when we done, she gonna just take it right on off.
Thank you.
But yeah. So the journey, I can truly. And I know a couple of them now, and I get it. I don't know if they're on, but I get it because I too was that coward after the fact. So to be transparent, I was not just, I cut it and boom, I start rocking it. Nope.
Right.
And even when I did decide to do it, I had to pump the prime, prime the pump. I had to pump myself up and just walk out and just say, hey, this is it. And then people start telling me, oh my God, you look good. So they didn't even understand that that was just bouncing off of me. Like, I'm already don't take compliments well. A lot of my friends, my family, also, you always got something else to say when somebody say something positive. So with now on top of this, okay, thanks.
Yeah, it's so amazing you say that. I was just at work on Sunday and I ran into someone I hadn't seen in years. Right. And the first thing they said was, why did you cut your hair?
Really?
And my response was just like, because I wanted to. Like, why do you feel like I have to get validation from you or permission to cut my hair? But those small comments can turn into an internal tug of war for you to where you're like, well, do I feel pretty or do I feel valued just because of this person making this comment? And one thing I want people to learn is that be mindful of the things you say,
please.
Especially with women with shortcuts. Some women are confident and some are not as confident. I remember when I first cut my hair, like I was saying before, it literally took me calling our other line sister, like, girl, I don't know if I did the right thing. Like, she's like, Ash, go ahead and color it because you need to go ahead and make it blonde. So you're really going to love it. Right. But what she did teach me was the lighter the color, the more thinner it may appear. And then the dark color, the more fuller it may appear. So
Yeah.
I don't know about my hairstylist, but y'all can definitely chime in and let us know when it comes to hair. But that was something that I just learned on my own. Listen, I play around with colors all the time.
But you know what? Sorry, I remember when Ashley cut her hair, and she was like, "Why does everybody keep asking me what is wrong with me?" And I had to tell her, "Are you okay with it?" She said, "Yeah." I mean, I love my color. I'm like, okay, that's all that matters. And I think that as women, it's kind of hard to embrace certain standards that we place on our lives. And instead of uplifting each other, it's always, well, why did you do that? Instead of saying, hey girl, you look good. Or I always say with one of my good friends, and we say this all the time, listen, do not give me no problem if you don't have a solution. So if you want to tell me about a problem, please give me a solution. If you don't have a solution, keep it to yourself. So
because you know what I'm noticing too right now is, since you were saying about the standards, is even the IG page that I set up called By Choice or By Force, because some women are rocking their naked crowns by force and some are rocking them by choice. But now with that embracing, like Dr. Storm was saying, just embracing each other, you have a sister who is rocking by choice and emphasizing it. Because I want you to know, now I'm not a victim. Now, now this by choice. I chose to do this. And I'm like, it's okay.
That's your story.
It's okay, you know, but I have to rock mine by force. So it's still the same thing, like you were saying, be mindful, but we're not, you don't have to defend it. That is by choice. You know, it's kind of like, to me, you that person is trying to say like, oh no, I don't have no issues.
Right,
you know,
it's a validation portion of it. I did this, but I don't have any issues. And I remember going through I actually watched a young lady, and I'm gonna keep it discreet. And to see her go through a process where it wasn't by choice, where she had to cut off all her hair. And what was the aha moment for me, and I actually never shared it with her, is when she had to cut off her hair by choice. But then she took her social media and became a testimony. And you're talking about someone that is beautiful, young, and she wore her boldness proud by saying, listen, this is what I'm dealing with. Let me be an advocate for women. And this is my true nakedness. And now she's at that phase where God is good. And now she's able to say, well, this was my journey here. That when I found out XYZ, but look at me now. And I remember in her same story, she said that she used to, I want to say people. She went from a period of wanting to have weight on her, and then she couldn't manage the weight. And that validation portion is just so, it hinders us, especially as women, especially as African American women. Really, let's say African American. What is it? Especially as women, we allow each other to. I always say, as women, we're very powerful together. Very powerful. And it's all about uplifting each other.
Absolutely.
When Ashley cut her house, I was like, oh, that look good.
Listen.
I think I want to cut my house. She was like, do it. I said, listen, it looks
when
good.
She walked in, I was like, oh, that's it. Because when I saw it, I was like, look, this is what I said. I said, that's the look that I was talking about right there.
Right. No, it's so funny. We have another colleague at the school. She's like, actually, I want those zigzags that you have in your hair. I'm like, my barber just be playing all the time. But it's a great feeling, you know, when you get those compliments from people that you work with, and they're like, I want to do the same thing. And it was the same thing for me when I decided to cut it. When I lived in my line, so I was like, girl, you doing that? And she's rocking it. She was rocking that shortcut, and for me, same thing. Like, when people see I don't have a haircut, it's what's wrong with you? You okay? But it's a blessing to see that people are always checking for you, like sometimes in a positive way, but there are times when it's in a negative way. Let's be fair. You know?
Oh yeah.
Talk about it.
And with the negative ways for me is because now I'm not doing the coloring. I'm embracing my gray. And people like beautiful. Like look like now you got short, now you don't color. You know how you get that. Well, won't you color it? Won't you color it? I'm like, no, I'm not.
And the thing is,
I'm not coloring.
They give suggestions, but what's the craziest thing is they will never do it themselves.
Right.
I'll be like, keep them calm to yourself, please.
But you know what? I guess my question to you both, because both of you are rocking the shortcut. And my mom rocks a mean shortcut. She does. And she wear it so proudly. If you could look back, especially you, Torri, knowing that before when you had to like kind of battle with it, but now where you actually are free, which is a big difference. Right. What would you tell yourself during that time? Like, what kind of advice would you give yourself during that time period where you was battling, cutting it off due to the concerns and challenges that you was going through? So what would you tell the young tenderoni Torri?
Ooh, that's a good one, Dr. Storm.
You next.
I got you. I'm ready.
I don't know if I would tell myself anything different, because I look at my son and I know what the diagnosis was, and I say, well, if anything was taken from me, whatever was taken from me or whatever, that he didn't have to go through anything less than what he has, then hey, the hair, if that's all it was gonna take, then I'm good. It's just that I had to embrace it. Yeah, because the stress of having him, carrying him, it took a toll on me, and it impacted my hair. So, but I look at the talking and I look at everything about him, and I say, okay, if that's all I had to lose, then hey, it's well worth it.
So you saw the blessing in your pain. You gotta talk to me.
Yeah. Look, it's beauty for my ashes.
Yeah, it is. So I think for me, like with the first incident of me losing my hair, it was going through a time frame of me no longer working for a company that I had worked for like 5 years. So for me, even during that time frame in my younger self, I was just saying to myself, like, embrace the journey. Like, it's okay, because your life is already written before you. You just got to go through those steps. So as I went through it, I was just like, this is not going to be forever. Let me go get this do-grow and put around here. And it's going to work. Because that was the key. Man, I kid you. The do-grow was what helped my hair grow back, y'all. I promise y'all, I still have do-grow between edges and things of that nature. But seriously, that was what helped me to just not become further depressed about what was happening. Right? It was just embrace the journey. And that's even so now. And now in present day, when we're going through things, we have to remember to embrace the journey, because the pain is only temporary.
Right.
Yes, yeah, it's temporary.
That's true. And when you're talking about products, you could talk about that too. Because when someone is, like maybe like you, hair loss, maybe because of stress or just a wrong product that you use, but alopecia, cancer, things like that, we could do grow, we could do sulfate, we could do Minivol, we could do Rogaine.
Nothing comes
nothing. They say, all these oils, this and that. You will see in some of those areas, like I was saying, when we were talking about it during the interview part, the little fuzz, you will get that little fuzz, but it's gonna also go right back and then regrow again in that little fuzz, but never to come into that thickening space again. And then especially with women who have the patchy alopecia, that's kind of difficult too, and I understand. I have one young lady that I get it. You probably just can't unless she just is going to embrace the different patches on that. But that's a deep emotional decision, and I understand that, because I don't know if that was my form of alopecia, what would be the deal. I probably would still be naked. in a shame.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I probably would, because that's a hard one to swallow.
Yeah.
You know, because of our images, you know, just the image of beauty.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
Why do you
It's
ladies think that is such a strong emphasis on on beauty? We know, you know, beauty gets you through doors. Beauty gets you with the men.
Yeah.
You know, beauty gets you things that other people that's not what they call beautiful don't have to work on. But I always tell my girls, listen, when you can love yourself from the inside, because the truth is, and I remember talking to that same young lady, and she was like, you know what? You just gotta live life, because you can try to prevent the different challenges that may arise. And one day you could wake up and your whole life can change in a blink of an eye.
Literally in a blink of an eye.
And when we go through those periods of just self-doubt, I went through the period of my edges. You know, I had a head full of hair, but baby, my edges look like I was suited from back here. And that what made me get inside, start doing wigs, because I was like, wait a minute, I have a hair full of hair, but I don't have any edges. And when my hair started to kind of fall out, it was due to stress. So now you're recognizing all these different hormonal balances, and you recognize that we wear the lace fronts and you wear the sew-ins.
Right.
Yes, it's good to cover your hair, but we forget about the edges. So it's so many different processes that we're going through. But I believe, especially as African American women, how do we battle all of this stuff and sisterly? But when it's unsisterly, when those questions of, Torri, well, why did you cut your hair? Or when you're talking to someone, you're like, hey, I done got naked. Come on, join me. Right. And they're just like, no, I can't do it.
Yeah. They won't. They will not. Like I say, everybody has their own battle, their own time frame. And you just gotta allow them to do it when they do it. Like with me. You know, I was secretly there, but to me, it was just a easier transition, especially with the Jada Pinkett situation. You know, the politician, she was coming out, Congresswoman. It was just a lot of women. So I was just like, okay, this is a great time. This is a great time. I think I could do it. And then I did it for my birthday. And then I had women that just like, yes. And I too want to do it. And so we did it together. We did it together. But like when we were talking about this beauty thing, I just had this conversation with my cousin. And I was telling her, I think I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do it.
Take time, Torri.
We got you.
I said to her, I do not feel beautiful. I just feel that I'm losing it. Like, you go places, you go out, you do things. I just don't get that attention high. And even with my relationship, I can't blame it, like, because he was loving me before this. But I'm like, is this it? Or does this not attract, or is it not appealing to anybody to ask me on a date or to give me a compliment?
Right.
I don't get that. I don't get the second look no more. And I ain't bragging, but you know, I'm used to a look.
Right.
You know, so thank you for the laugh, God, because I promise you, emotionally, I felt that. I felt that flood coming. So I thank you so much right now for that laugh.
Yes,
but I used to get a little look, a little something, and it's lonely, and it's like, what I get I am a female. You know, you won't, at least it's nothing. Like you get nothing with the bald heads, and it was tapping into my self-esteem, and she was like, "Nah, cause you rocking that, you good at that." But you know, that's her level for me. But it's just, it's what I think. I do. I go through that, so I get it when women say, "No, I don't want to be free because
Right.
The beauty of the man, the attraction, the attention, the open door, or to be chosen to do it. You know,
I
so,
want you to know, Torri, that a lot of our comments are coming in and everyone's pouring into you. They're like, you are so beautiful. You are gorgeous. You rocking that bald head. Like, I want you to understand that your testimony right now is going to bless another woman that's on this call who sees what we're discussing, who's been struggling with what they've been going through. And you're going to bless them tonight to keep going, putting on that makeup, showing up, putting those earrings on, the accessories, and that purse with them shoes. So just understand the purse with the shoes match, okay? So I want you to know that you are truly loved and you are truly blessed, no matter what style you're rocking. And that's the same thing for me, same thing for Dr. Storm. A lot of times I come into work and when I kid you not, I'm feeling really, really low. There were times that Ashley don't know how she's going to make it. Ashley still has her moments and things in her brain that's just like, okay, this is overwhelming. I don't know. From doing the podcast, I was like, God, we started this. Give me the strength to keep it moving and going to where we're sharing the things that we're going through, because I know we're not alone. And that's the biggest thing that I want you to know in this podcast, is that you're not alone. Any woman that's on here struggling with things, rather if it's just loving on yourself, your beauty from within, your crown, you are truly loved, and you are going to be blessed tremendously just for even stepping on this podcast.
That's right. Torri, and just being transparent. That is so key, because I feel like we all deal with our own different battles, especially as women. Because listen, it's days where I'm just like, you know what? I'm just not feeling it today. And I remember my mom having a conversation, and she said a man could uplift you and could bring you down also. A sister can uplift you and it can bring you down also. And when you don't have that sister circle or someone like, your cousin, your daughter that can speak life into you, when sometimes we don't know, because makeup and wigs, we could dress it so good, right?
Listen,
because my makeup, it don't just what I went through today.
Not at all.
That's the part too that you have to look at, is that we others can hide that thing so good. But when you are, this is every day. You know what I'm saying? It's like you see it because it's by force. Like, and I was telling you guys when I was talking to you, like, I'm not gonna sit on here and say, if they say your hair can get tomorrow that I ain't getting there to try to get my hair. Like, you understand? I'm gonna try to get my hair. If there's somewhere to go get it, that can naturally grow it back. Like, even though we can, but I want it to be by choice. And at this point in my life,
it's okay.
It won't happen. It's what it is. So I gotta embrace it,
And I believe that God is definitely using you, Torri, as a powerful tool. As I continue to get wisdom on me. I won't say, I just say wisdom. As I continue to get wisdom, I tell God, listen, I don't have to deal with all this. Just to have to tell a story. And I am at a point in my life, Torri, where you know what I say? My obedience is better than my sacrifice. And for you to just to come on here and to be tangible, to say, listen, yes, I'm telling my naked truth, but at the same time, listen, if I had a little grease, a little oil that can grow me a full hair, sign me up. And it's just, you are so beautifully amazing. And I love your transparency, because a lot of people can't do that. A lot of women can't do it.
Absolutely.
And you're rocking it.
You are.
And with a beautiful high cheek smile.
Yes. I want Torri, I know you did the movement. Was it last year or the year before when you started Naked and Not Ashamed? And I told her the other day, I said, when's the next one? Because when I post that video, I was just we were moved by it. And I really want you to get back to it. Let us know whenever the next event is coming. We will share it. We will have you on the show to discuss it. To continue just pouring out the empowerment for women, because We all need it.
It's needed.
We all need it.
Sorry, when I saw the video, I was like, oh my God, this is so powerful.
Yes.
I didn't even get to the second video that you had sent. It wasn't even because you were Sarah. It was, oh my gosh, this is so powerful.
It was so
powerful. Yes. Let's bring it on, please, because it's needed. It's definitely needed, because I remember who sang that song, I Am Not My Hair.
Is it India?
Oh, yeah, I think it is India, right? I don't know.
Yes. And that's what reminds me of, that at the end of the day, Torri, you may feel like it's your hair. For me, I may feel like it's my feet. For Ashley, it feel like it's our, and we all, but we battle those things.
Yeah.
It's in the inside. And I just believe that growing up, we had our just for me.
Yes, just for me.
See the things that our parents, what we wanted, the
dark and lovely.
Dark and lovely, all these relaxers. And now I love us growing the natural hair, man. Y'all some amazing.
And then on top of that, the instructors told you that you had to wait 5 minutes before it actually took. So you're sitting there, like you say, the chemicals getting inside your scalp and it's burning, you're sweating, and you're rinsing your hair. You're like, okay, this is the best part, but not knowing it's X amount of years later.
Right.
Now they're saying that these same products is linked to different diseases.
Yeah, different cancers.
Different cancer cells. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Anything that you want to leave for the people, for your audience? Listen, they blowing you up in the comments.
They really are.
You are beautiful. I actually love the bald hair from Kimberly. I actually love the bald hair from day one. It's so beautiful on you.
Yes.
Leslie say feeling free. Just play our anthem. What is the anthem?
That's my cousin.
We love Leslie.
What's the anthem?
Yeah. Michael Jackson, not Jermaine Jackson's song, "Feeling Free."
Oh,
you know the song, "Feeling Free."
And then we have
when you get off, you gotta go hear it. You'll hear it.
Yeah, we're gonna play it.
But like I want to say thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Dr. Storm. This is a powerful. I want to just encourage every time you guys get on that this audience, stay rocking with Encouraging Woman podcast. Stay here each week. I know I'm coming back, not just because I was on here, but I'm coming back to support. And I thank you for this, because we need a platform of this. Also, any sister, auntie, what I put in the post, cousin, friend, anyone that is struggling with them, continue to be patient with them. And, and if you are, naked and ashamed and you want to be liberated, feel free to contact me, get connected with me on IG. We could do it privately. We could walk through it together. It's not easy. Just, like the old cliche, girl, take my hand. Come on.
That's right.
Yes.
Take my hand. Come on. Because I fall short some days of just low self-esteem and, and I rub it and I say, Lord, listen, I got my health.
That's right.
I get another day to worship you, pray, see my children. This is just something to keep going.
That's temporary.
Oh,
that's temporary.
It's really a non-factor when you come to this life. Like, it's really a non-factor. But the innate of us, the beauty of us, the woman side of us, it'll kick in every now and then. But I have to kick right back and say, listen.
Ooh, come on now. Listen.
Listen, this is what it is. I thank God for the face.
Yes.
Because you're beautiful. I can't say y'all, but listen, I hit a note like I'm with you. But before we let everyone go, we actually have...
Wait, before we do that, we want to say thank you to all of our sponsors.
Yes.
Everyone who helped us keep this thing going for tonight. We are greatly appreciative for our followers.
Yes.
Those who have liked, subscribed and shared our posts. We are so very thankful. We thank you. The actual donations through Cash App, the Encouraging Woman Cash App. You guys are more than welcome to continue pouring into us so that we can continue on this process. But without any further ado, we have Dr. Storm, who has an announcement. Doctor.
Listen, I work hard for that, y'all, and I know everybody else that have their doctorate, they work hard for it too, or any accomplishment.
But wait, I have a master's, so that was a real big accomplishment, y'all. The master's. I had to say it. Go ahead, Storm.
Okay, so listen, you all, we have a grand, amazing announcement. I'm so excited of what God is doing in this season. I am super excited what God is doing in your life.
What are you doing?
And I'm just excited that you actually said, you know what, let me get this work and run with it. So I want to introduce and announce that Red Learning Academy, which is my K-12 private school, we actually have our second gala, the fundraiser coming up May 11th. And Torri, guess who is our keynote speaker?
Talk about it.
Who?
Talk about it. So I have a nonprofit organization. Actually, I have a nonprofit school, and every year we do an annual gala. And I remember putting on the gala from last year. We did it in 6 weeks. Me and Handy CC. And we put it on. It took us 6 weeks to put it on, and it was so powerful. And although the main thing is to raise money for the school, I always want to make sure that my guests leave with something. And this year, as I was planning, I'm driving in the car, and I heard God say, Ashley. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to call him when I get home. And God say, no, keynote. And I said, keynote speaker? And he's like, yes. So I'm like, okay, I don't know how she's going to feel about this. Because she already has so much other stuff going on. And, she's like a quiet storm. There's so many things that's about to just come out. And I'm like, okay, God, I hear you. So when I got on the phone with her, we're just talking. I was like, oh yeah, I need you to do
I need you to be keynote speaker.
Some professional pictures, because you are voluntold.
She did volunteer.
You are the keynote speaker. And she's like,
you're gonna do a fabulous job.
And it's so amazing. When she asked me, y'all, it was like one of those things in my life where I wanted to push back. I wanted to continue moving forward, shall I say, with the Encouraging Woman. And you guys have to thank Dr. Storm, because she really has been forcing me to bring back the Encouraging Woman.
The naked truth, right?
The naked truth, y'all.
That's right. Little truth be told.
Like, seriously, because I was like, hold on, Storm, I got to get my headshots done. I got to get all these things done.
And he told me, well, I need it by this date. I need this done by this date. Because you know what? I always say that, God, my grandmother named me Storm, and I am actually walking in it. And I was told a lot that I'm a catalyst to a lot of people. And when I hear your heart and your passion, and I kept hearing her saying, I got to do something with Encouraging Women. Like, I got to get this podcast. And I was like, okay, we'll get it done.
She's like, what's holding you back?
You know what? Let me make a phone call to Centerpiece Studio, because we're showing up in 2 weeks. And
I was like, you sure? Like, listen, I kid you not. I was like, you sure, Storm? Like, and I said, God was like, you better move. When you're given that opportunity, you better move and you're supposed to do.
And I'm so amazed at her, because I thought this was something that she was doing by herself. And she was like, yeah, but you're going to be the co-host. And I'm like, listen, I'm a private person. I don't want to be in front of the camera. I don't want to tell my business. I don't want to talk to other people. I'm not doing that. And I hear guys
now
say,
look at you.
Look, you think that you're going to give a word and not be a part of the testimony? Sometimes that we take on a torch and we want to accomplish certain things, not realizing that God going to use you first before that testimony comes. But I ain't going to
come on now. Talk about it.
But May 11th, the details, it will drop tonight on our Facebook and social media pages. Please support. Please donate. Please show up. Show up.
Please do.
Because I believe that Ashley D. Williams got a good word.
I do, y'all. I'm sorry. I can't wait. just pouring into me for the past year and really just letting everyone know like what Ashley brings to the table. Because like you said, I'm like a quiet storm. Like I kid you not, the things that I'm able to do and accomplish, I look at myself sometimes and say, how did you do that? But God.
Yes, but God. So look for the flyer. Be on the lookout for the details for the upcoming gala, May 11th. All funds go back to supporting my babies for the school. And one of the things and one of the reasons why I do the gala outside of the fundraising portion, because I give everything away. I always tell my mom I had to become a realtor because listen, every dime that I get through my paycheck with Red Learning Academy, it goes back to my baby. It's breaking us together. And being able to be a resource center. So every time we put on these galas, I want y'all to get something out of it. I want you all to be empowered. And that's the reason why I'm glad that your obedience with the podcast and allowing God to use you. And Torri, you are amazing. You are truly
You're such a gem.
Yes.
I wanted to say, was any cakes going to be baked for the gala?
Talk about
We're going to talk about it.
Yes. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
We're going to talk about it.
I wasn't trying not to bother her because I know she's going to have a lot going on trying to prepare it. But, you know, when God uses you, and I believe that God felt that in your spirit.
Listen, I got you. Just for Dr. Storm. My cheeks. I do that cheesecake, God. Ashley's cheesecake on IG. I got to shout it out. I haven't done it last time, but Ashley's cheesecake. Follow it, guys.
Let me tell y'all a side note before we leave. Since you want to tell my business.
My cake is good.
Ashley, I had to ask her. I'm like, Ashley, who is Ashley? I'm a motivational speaker. Okay, and I'm an entrepreneur. Okay, and well, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. I tell her all the time, y'all. Ashley, listen. For one, she the plug. I'm gonna stop. But you are so amazing.
I love the energy.
I'm so humble.
You're truly amazing.
Thank you.
And you're very much so powerful. And and it's just a blessing.
You are.
Yes. And to actually see your growth and to just see you flourish not only as a woman, as a mom, as an entrepreneur, as a child of God. Listen, Ashley will hit you with a scripture
real quick
and tell you, no, it's not this, it's this.
Yes.
I appreciate
you guys got to look at the tape. You got to look at y'all chemistry is amazing. It is.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can you tell who the oldest?
Listen,
we're the same age.
Only by a couple months, y'all.
But you know what? I thank you for putting me out of my shell. Because she always tell me, Storm, you have so much to say. And you're such a blessing to others. And for me, I just prefer to have my own little private box, get my little work done, and just be great in that little box. So, as you say, Torri, I believe that God is definitely using us, using our guests, using everybody that's commenting. Listen, we all have a voice.
We do.
All of us are definitely powerful, and I believe that we are one.
Yes.
And let's stick together. Let's stick together.
You got this.
Ain't no individual. Let's stick together. There's no I team.
Encouraging woman.
This.
Y'all better speak to me.
Yes.
Well, we'll conclude tonight, Torri. We thank you so much, and we will be chatting with you soon. You better talk that talk.
Yes.
Thank you both for allowing me to be an encouraging woman tonight.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Torri. We love you so much. And remember, you are beautiful,
gorgeous,
amazing.
Yes.
A dime piece, a tenderoni. You better stop this loud.
All right. See you guys. Thank you so much.
Love you.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Good night.